I'm gonna have to kind of sit up, huh? Anyway, hopefully everybody can. I'm gonna be still because we did PCOS challenge. I'm gonna get up. Okay, this is pretty awesome. I'm really serious. No, I don't talk. I mean, I talk a lot, but when it comes to talking on camera, I really don't like to do that. I'm very, I get anxious. So I'm going to step out of me because this is very serious. At a young age, I didn't know what was going on with me. I go in and out to the doctor, didn't eat meat, basically a vegetarian, going through emotional situations as I was growing up. And I had to really focused everything on God. And I said, God, whoever you have made me, I know there's a reason. And I know that the things that I go through, if it's something that's not good, I could think of the good. So in my lifetime, I've always thought about the good of things, the good of people, the good of what in my mind things were going through, such as we're talking about polycystic ovarian syndrome. We did a video for my daughter Karen because there's a lot behind. I'm like putting the cart before the horse. Thank God that in 2017, in July, we went to a health clinic, and a nurse practitioner, Dr. Manite, had shared with me after I've asked several doctors, wasn't even caring about me, but I wanted to see what was going on with my daughter Karen. And she looked at me and she said, she said, look up PCOS. She didn't say she had it. She just said, look it up. So I did. So to take that journey, we shared Karen's story, but I'm going to share mine and place it on Facebook because I think it's very important that as I grew up, I didn't have a name on it. And I went through that at a young age to where I focused on running track, being in dance, playing tennis, doing basketball, but I never had I guess you'd say menstrual cycle, like my periods stopped. And, some would say, oh, it's because you're in sports. And then I had a lot of facial hair. Then I was in at the doctor because I felt sick a lot, but I just tried to ignore it and go on. So I did that for years. I will be 55 tomorrow if the Lord is willing, and that's January 22nd. But this is taking me somewhere very serious because my sister Karen could not have children when she was young. We didn't really talk about why, but she couldn't. And it really hit her hard, and she wound up with cancer. And the story is, she's with the Lord, but I was blessed to have my 30-year-old that is now, she was 16 at the time, to be able to name my youngest daughter, which is Karen, which I had Karen, so Ashley and Karen about 15, 16 years apart. She wanted to name her, and I was so overwhelmed still at the time. She wanted to name her after Karen, and that was a blessing, and she did. So we won't go into that story, but the whole focus of everything is I'm looking back at everything that has gone on in my life, and I'm focusing on my young daughter Karen now, seeing what her struggle has been. I'm like, wow, I went through the same thing. But when I would get depressed, a friend of mine, family member, Norma, we called her Skeeter back then, and she said, girl, if you don't get yourself together, you can go to the crazy house. So I snapped out of it and went the other way. So I thank God for that point in my life, her sharing with me, just to get a grip. So whenever I felt anxious or didn't know what was going on with me, I would do the total opposite. I would be happy. I would say, I'm not going to be sad. I would talk myself through it. Not everybody can do that. But I want to reach out there to anyone that may have symptoms, and it's called hairism, and it can be a lot of facial hair, it can be body hair. It personalizes the women. You can have insulin resistant, or it may look like it, but it's not diabetes. You can gain weight. Like I haven't, they were saying, oh, it's in your 40s. Well, I'm in my 50s, so that's why I was gaining weight. But my grandmother, not even. You don't have to gain weight because you're just getting older. So, and my mother. So I got to looking into it more, and I wasn't even paying attention to what was going on with my life because I've dealt with it so long. But we did get a grip of it. We changed everything in our cupboard. Um, we are being very body sensitive. What is your body telling you? I don't care what a doctor says, but if your body is telling you something, you may want to pay attention to it and ask around. So I thank God that He has guided me so, everywhere in my life on, how to take control of this. Um, I just want to share with everybody to get out there and what I'm talking about. Don't let it fall to the wayside, because you never know what your children are going through or what you may be going through as well. When you're like, I'm a happy person, but why am I feeling this way? Or why is my body aching? Or, your body speaks to you. And the website is PCOSchallenge.org. And it is fabulous. There's a lot of other websites out there. That one's with Sasha Adi, and they do conferences for women with PCOS. And even though I'm older now, life is what it is. So I just think back at everything that I was going through. Wow, it had a name to it, but the doctors would look at me as if I was a hypochondriac or something. I even thought myself, maybe I shouldn't say anything else about it. What I will take positive out of this is every struggle that I had, everything that I was going through, I'd say there's got to be a God. There's got to be a God. And I'm going to talk to you, Lord. And everything that I'm going through, I trust you have an answer for it. So I know that's how I survived. I know that's how I survived. And He has placed me in order in education and learning different things. For this reason right here, I do believe. For my life, God has placed the cart before the horse, because I believe that everything that I've gone through and where He's positioned me in my life is for this purpose right here and many other purposes. So I do want to be an advocacy for the Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. It does cause a lot of diseases in women. They're researching it. I have just been looking into it since July of 2017. So, but once I get to studying and doing my research, I'm going to have some names of what these things are called, break it down on the name and the source of what it is, and just things to look out for, so that you can live a healthy life. You don't have to feel like you're alone. There's a lot of women out there that I know they feel like they're alone, and I hope this video reaches you and that you'll research that. And in the first thing to start, I think I'm glad that we have YouTube and things like that, because you can do a lot of looking. That's the way we found it out. Dr. Manite, well, she's a nurse practitioner. She shared that with us, and I am so glad, because once she did, we got to doing research. And even now, going to the doctors that I'm sending to Karen and myself, if they don't know anything about PCOS, we're just going to kindly walk out, because it doesn't it just means that that's not the doctor for us. But I hope that everybody is passionate, and all the doctors would like to know a little bit about what goes on with women with that. It make the lives a little bit easier. And I did go to an endocrinologist when I was younger. So anyway, I just want to tell my family and friends, from the Weatherford, Texas, to California, to New York City, to all the states, please join in and support PCOS. If you'd like to know a little bit more about it, again, you can go to PCOSchallenge.org and learn all about it. If you have someone in your family that is suffering with inflammation from hair loss, facial hair, obesity, cycles not being there, bone aches. Might want to just check it out. It might help you resolve a lot of your own issues. So again, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be part of the PCOS challenge. I pray to do my part to get out there, to just love on every woman, and even men can get it. So everybody, just to show my love and passion that you can do this. And, people can say that there's not a cure. We don't have a cure, but you could stabilize it. I do believe it could be stabilized. And if you know what you have, then you can know how to balance it out and work it out. So hope to see you all soon, searching on the PCOS website and taking the challenge to just look at it and support it. It's a good, it is a good village. It's a good family. So thank you, CCRM, for donating $10 to PCOS to get the word out, to people. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful and blessed and joyous year.